you have the mindset for success? Or are you feeling frustrated in life or your career? Or stressed you can't find love or happiness? Hi, I'm Coach Riana Milne, and I can help you turn your pain into your purpose and passion by using my Mindset for Success system. Learn the Motivational Mindset for Success coaching system that has helped thousands of my clients over 40 years, and it can help you too. It's time to create the life you desire and to have the love you deserve.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's show, Identifying Dangerous Dating Disasters and Having Success in Dating. This is a very important topic as I was chatting with our attendees as they were coming into the room. We are recording tonight for my podcast, Lessons in Life and Love, to get this important information out to everyone around the world, my clients, my graduates, and the people who have not met me yet. We are doing a lesson and then open Q&A so that I can do coaching for everyone that's in the room tonight who may have dating questions or struggling with a concern. I am here for you tonight, and my boyfriend Chris is assisting me with Q&A. So get your questions ready as we go through the slides. It is time to create the life you desire and have the love that you deserve. I don't want you to wait. Even though you might have had love trauma like I have, the world is abundant. And I want you to know this is why I did the research, and it is such an impassioned topic for me that I don't want to see anybody else get hurt out there. And that's what led me to my research. As I teach, there's always good out of the bad. And the good that happened for me is I got to help so many people globally. Once I did the research on who is a good date and who is a dangerous one and what we need to be watching out for. So let's get rolling. What's the one thing that might be stopping you from dating? Many people that I meet with are they're afraid of getting hurt again. They don't want to repeat what happened to them in the past. Then again, people coming out of a long-term marriage, they're just not confident with dating. They're just feeling, oh, I don't know what to do. I haven't dated for 25 years. What are people doing these days? So they don't have the dating skills that they need. Others who have been hurt, they have a low trust. People that have still unhealed childhood trauma, there's low trust in strangers, and dates are strangers until you get to know someone. And they may also have low self-confidence. They don't feel good about themselves. They don't think they're date ready. They may have had a lot of emotional abuse in their prior relationship. So they're just not feeling good enough to get out there. There also is a fear of getting used, ripped off, or attracting a toxic partner. And I'm seeing that more and more today as I'm meeting my clients through their life and love discovery sessions. That's the first thing I hear. Rihanna, I'm afraid. I don't know what to do. This is another reason why I'm doing this service tonight, to make sure that I give you a lot of good information. The most important thing is you want to keep getting educated. You want to learn to be more confident and empowered to get the results you want and find your special partner. Wherever you are is really perfect. No matter what stage of being single that you're in the right place to learn some great strategies and to date with confidence tonight. Successful for results for love relationships come from the newest research from my program called Success in Dating. And it's more complex than you think. Dating success is based on many, many factors. You want to empower yourself with the art and psychology of dating successfully to get the results that you desire. You need research-based education to date consciously. I want to make sure you stay to the end because I have some valuable gifts to give you. First of all, I always do attendance gifts for my guests. Tonight, you're going to get my best year yet for 2024. It's a 38-page planning guide. My graduates get it every year. They love it. It's a big part of mindset and success for the entire year that you set yourself up for the year. You will get that guide tonight when you stay to the end. There is a couple questions I call trivia questions that I'm going to ask you. You email me the answers and I can then email you back your planning guide. And you'll also get the special article, We'd Rather Be Single Than Settle. And that is one of our mottos here in our family because we know what settling costs us. And once you learn the conscious dating skills, you will never settle again. Also, I have a special promotion to introduce you to tonight where you're going to save thousands on the Success in Dating program. And it's a one-time only Valentine's love offer for you all tonight. And of course, the live coaching is going to happen after this, and it's for everyone. I am here to serve you tonight. So Please take advantage of that. So, what are the dangerous dating disasters? Basically, it's a breach of trust that's performed against a really good person. I tend to believe, being spiritual, that most people are really good people. I'm a very trusting soul. And that's probably why I got hurt. And it's not that I'm going to change who I am as a person or my spirituality. It's just I'm going to be more educated and also protect myself at the same time. A conscious decision or plan is devised by someone that could be a sociopath, a narcissist, or a psychopath. And there are differences between the three. If you've heard my podcast, I have a couple podcasts on that. But nonetheless, they use their plan to hurt or disrespect or use a kind and trusting person. And the awareness helps us protect us in dating. If a situation should happen to you, now you're empowered to know exactly how to handle it. What are the dangerous dating disasters? Well, there's over 20 of them, more of them, I should say, in my book, Love Beyond Your Dreams. But tonight we're going to handle some of these. And I would love to see on the chat if any of you have experienced any of these. Have you ever been ghosted or been crumbed? If you don't know what these are, I'm glad you're here to learn about these. Been exposed to a gaslighter, a dine and dash, honey trapping, catfishers, flying monkeys, or love bombers. Ghosting is very, very common. And catfishers, I have someone I met with last week in a discovery session, and he's still in the midst of it. And I want to work with him to heal his childhood and love trauma so that we can clean that up and start making him safe. So almost everybody has experienced at least one of these. They're so common anymore. And that's why I'm glad you're all here. Okay. So why is dating so difficult? Well, the first thing, we're never educated on the great dating skills. Our parents don't teach us. We don't learn in schools. I didn't learn in my triple master's in psychology. You would think that they would teach us somewhere. Yes, there's books out there, but a lot of them say the same thing. And that's why I'm like, why didn't I know this? Why did I not catch these things? And that's why I went into the deeper research of the psychological journals to find out what's causing people to be this way. What are the signs of them? Dating has become very risky on internet sites, and singles that are more isolated from support systems like friends and family are more prone to be attacked. And these people are experts from around the world, and they know exactly what they're doing to try to get a victim. Definitely the online and dating victimization is on the rise. A lot of people think it's only online, but it is everywhere. I had a couple of friends that say, I'm not going to be online. I'm only going to date live. But, they're out there dating live too. You can meet them, at a charity event. They're very much on the rise and out there. And those of childhood trauma do really desire love. And when unconscious and unhealed, they often risk too much to have it. They are like the perfect prey for a love bomber. So don't be vulnerable. As a lot of coaches or people out there that are not educated say, you have to be vulnerable to find love. I totally disbelieve that. I say you have to be empowered to find love, and empowered when you date. Super important. Okay. What is childhood and love trauma? For those of you that don't know my work, I am one of the top global specialists in healing childhood trauma, and that leads directly to love relationship trauma. It's a very deep topic, too much for me to go into tonight. So please check out my podcast for more information on childhood trauma, and my website, rianamilne.com. It's my name. And you'll see there the childhood trauma checklist. So you can check how many childhood traumas you have. Unconscious behavioral norms come from childhood and then can ruin our chances at having and attracting emotionally healthy love. Codependency, love addiction, moodiness, jealousy, control, cheating, lying, poor impulse, being needy. These are all from the past, all from childhood experiences, which we call childhood trauma. And then poor communication patterns are formed at the time that you're a child, and they're very much a part of your subconscious, and often our subconscious rule. There's only about 6% of us that live fully consciously aware. And it is a training that all my VIP clients go through to go from subconscious or unconscious behavioral patterns and norms to be fully consciously aware. Without healing our past, emotionally healthy love is difficult to have and to find. Understanding and healing your past and explaining childhood experiences and their impact to your new partner opens up a healthy line of communication that fosters healing and understanding. So if someone's triggered or anxious, they can look at your partner and say, "Hun, it's not you. I'm just going through a moment. I'm just feeling a little anxious. So thank you for being patient with me." It's a form of empowered communication. And when we notice something is happening or we're feeling a weak moment, so to speak, we can easily then explain that to our partner. Communication is key to sustaining a relationship over time. It's like dating, communication. Everyone thinks they know how to talk and they do it well. But actually, over 90% of humans don't know what they're doing when it comes to good, emotionally healthy communication. This is something I go into extensively with my singles and my couples, and it changes everything, especially for my couples that are fighting and going back into their past and keep bringing up things that are triggering the other person. And it's just this cycle of domestic violence and abuse. So they really need to know how to communicate, and those communication skills are imperative. There are many communication rules that I teach. No one has taught us how to negotiate through issues. It's funny, I laugh because I'm in an elementary school years back, and handled all the emotionally upset kids, all the kids that were traumatized, and I had to teach them the rules of negotiation. And it was amazing. The bullying completely stopped, and they were able to talk through their issues. So anyone can learn these skills, but then it's practice, which is essential, but it is the beginning stages as well throughout your relationship that you use these communication rules. We call it conscious communication. And with it, we monitor what we say, how we say it, our tone of voice, our pitch, our pace, how fast we talk, and the emotion behind the words. Now, I'm a Philly girl. Okay. So, anyone that knows anyone from Philly, we talk really fast. If anybody watches Mad Money and Kramer, he talks so fast. He's typical Philly guy. And we have a lot of emotion. So sometimes the emotions can be too intense. And I knew when I moved to Florida, I was talking really fast. And sometimes that sounds aggressive, and I don't mean it at all. I'm talking fast with a smile on my face. So I consciously had to learn to slow down my pace so that it didn't sound aggressive to my clients. It's just that I care so much. So most people have no idea that they should be doing conscious communication on a regular, everyday basis. And it's done with everyone we know. These skills are lifelong, and it helps bring success in all areas. So your personal life, your dating life, relationships with your kids, your friends, and even in the workplace. Now, you too can have the love you deserve, Chris. This is our whirlwind fun relationship. We had a week in Cancun. I do something called the transformation vacation. I don't know if I have any of my vacationers on the class tonight, but please let us know. It's awesome. It's a vacation meant for fun, but also I do coaching, communication skills, dating skills, taking them out to nightclubs and all kinds of parties and beautiful restaurants. So we have a blast. And I just want you to know that you can have an amazing relationship as well. And you just have to know what to do. Being in love is the happiest feeling alive. And it is, by Maslow's hierarchy of needs through psychology, the number one basic need is connection and love. And we all desire this at any and every age. So people keep asking me, "Riana, why is it so hard to find?" Many singles are looking for emotionally healthy love. You just have to know what to do and what not to do. And this is where these success and dating rules come in. So who am I to teach you this? If you don't know me yet, I've got a lot of initials after my name, but basically I've been a licensed mental health counselor and a licensed addiction counselor for over 24 years in private practice. That company is called Therapy by the Sea. My coaching practice, I've been licensed with RCI since 2009 for singles and 2010 for couples as a life and relationship and dating coach. I'm a CCTP. I went on to get my advanced certification as a clinical trauma recovery professional. And you can't even get that credential unless you are a mental health counselor, because it is a mental health issue to help people heal from their past trauma experiences. You already know I have the podcast show, Lessons in Life and Love. I was a dating coach on the docu-series, a 12-show series called Radical Dating, Finding Lasting Love Over 40. And my client, Scott, was the first to date, first to be exclusive, and first to be married and still happily married. And he had severe childhood and love trauma, both of them. His partner was actually killed by a car right in front of him. So I had my work cut out for him, but we worked together and he's on speed dial. You can call me whenever he wants. And I'm so happy for him that he has found such happiness and great love. And I am a number one best-selling author. I have written 13 books now. My books are Love Beyond Your Dreams, Break Free of Toxic Relationships to Have the Love You Deserve, and Live Beyond Your Dreams from Fear and Doubt to Personal Power, Purpose, and Success. And I've been recognized around the world for the work I do in love and childhood trauma recovery. And I'm very honored every time a newspaper or magazine calls me and says they want to highlight me in an article, even a fashion magazine. I was like, really? I said, I can model again because I modeled for 33 years. And they did a beautiful spread on my careers in the model and talent industry as an agent and helping people find their dreams that way in career. And then also, I was just honored again. I just found out a couple of weeks ago by my hometown of Delray Beach for the best psychotherapist and life coach in our area, Palm Beach County. So these are all really great honors for me just doing what I love. It wasn't always that easy for me. I had two marriages to two sociopaths, and it devastated mine and my children's lives. And I had to stop and ask, why did I attract this type of person? And I needed to find out. So I went to 7 therapists. I mean, I was a therapist, and they did not know, and nothing was talked about regarding childhood trauma when I went to school for my master's. That term was not existing. So when they couldn't help me, they didn't know what he had. Everyone loved him. He's a great person, but he also had a secret life, which exploded on me and us. And I ended up annulling that marriage. I stood up as my own attorney. I was empowered. And I said, I cannot be with someone I do not trust, period. So then I picked up the pieces of my life and I said, I have to heal myself. So that led me to the research, put me back out there in single world. I definitely experienced what I call love trauma, but it's under the DSM for psychological post-traumatic stress disorder with shocking love trauma. And I was devastated that my future dreams of retirements with the one that I loved was shattered. I had a full belief and a future vision, and due to their impulse, lack of impulse, control, they ruined their lives, lost their work, and we lost that marriage. When I couldn't find the therapist to give me any answers or help me heal from this type of trauma, the research in the deep psychological journals, when I was piecing it all together and piecing all my work with people that had trauma from the schools with trauma, OCD, ADHD, oppositional defiant from kindergarten all the way through college. Then I worked in the mental health ward at Atlantic Care in Southern New Jersey for kids 5 through 19. I worked with women from the prison system at the drug and alcohol rehab, as well as the rehab center for teens. These are all people with childhood trauma. So I was piecing all this together. And in 2012, I created a childhood trauma checklist and started being interviewed on this. I'm like, oh my God, this is what it is. I got to get this message out to the world. And people were calling me crazy. I had somebody who was another therapist said I was making it up. And I said, nope, I'm going to send you some journal articles. I'm not making it up, but nobody is talking about this. Well, it's not in the DSM-IV. And I said, yes, but it should be. So I was a real rebel. I was one of the top persons talking about this, and I still am. I was determined myself never to attract a sociopath again. I needed great information on how to attract healthy love, and that's where the research came in. I was gathering so much great stuff. That's when I started writing Love Beyond Your Dreams. It got to 400 pages. I'm like, oh my God, I got to stop. And then I created my notebooks, and I'm like, I want to have a coaching program to help people heal from this. And that's when I created Dating to Mating, Life and Love Transformation Coaching System. And then since creating that, it's a stellar program. I have thousands of testimonials. But then all this new dating stuff started coming out. So I was like, oh my gosh, I have to protect my people. So then I wrote Success in Dating, and that's an online program going deeper into how to have success today in dating world. I found I had to heal from trauma first, as well as my clients, and then become empowered with the exact dating skills I needed to attract an emotionally healthy, evolved, and conscious partner, which I now have. And evolved means being your highest and your best self. We always ask, is it good for me and the other? So it is a spiritual philosophy as well. And these two courses are now helping my many global clients around the world. And once they learn together, we help them find the love they deserve. We work as a team together and they find amazing love. And that's when they come on my podcast. And just a little bit about the books. Love Beyond Your Dreams starts out with this huge section, how to spot the emotional manipulation, because that's where my research started. And that's why I said there's 20 more that we're not even talking about tonight. And I'll show you the list on the next page. But then how to stop the cycle of the abuse. Like, why was it a cycle? Why, like, I break up with someone, read all these self-help books, and then it happened again. I'm like, what the hell? What is happening here? And I had to know how to stop the cycle. And then how did I save myself and reinvent myself to get strong and empowered and on the path to healing and feeling amazing about myself? And how did I move on to have the emotionally healthy love that I knew I deserved? I knew I was a good lady. I worked hard. I'm a great mom. I love my businesses that I've had, the talent school and agency, and then the counseling, and just love helping people reach their dreams. It's just the number one bestseller on Amazon against like 500,000 books in psychology. So I was really thrilled about that. And then Live Beyond Your Dreams is about the mindset for success, which we also must have, because you can't go out there with dating skills, but not feel great about yourself and have balance in life and achieve your own goals and dreams. Because when you go out, you have to be emotionally healthy, not have anxiety or depression or stress. You have to have this better mindset for yourself in all areas. They're called sister books. This is the 20. And if you want to put in chat, if you've met any of these people, again, I can't go into all of this tonight, gang. I would, but my clients learn about what all these situations look like. Again, this is a lot of mental health information that is not mentioned in the typical dating book. You need to know about these type of people. These toxic people is what you've got to watch out for. And I give you the exact things to watch for. Clients say, Rihanna, it was so obvious, like on the first date. And that's what we would call a one and done. You can see someone who might be passive aggressive or a poor communicator, or the mom is boy, or someone that hates their mom. They're going to hate you if you're a woman eventually, because the psychological connection between mother and their partner will come out. Both books are included in all my dating programs. I discovered there's a psychological and emotional aura, your energy that you bring to each date, and understanding exactly what this is made a huge difference for me and my people. With the deep research on what these secrets were, there's all kinds of different secrets. There's a ton of them. But the first one was the unhealed childhood and love trauma does sabotage our success in all life areas. So we have to clean that up, heal these past emotional triggers, learn the mindset for success, along with the exact dating skills to create success in both life and love. So it's like a three-step process: healing your past, being confident and empowered, that's mindset. And then part three, knowing the exact skills. So you are choosing good people. This is what leads to successful, sustainable love relationships. So what leads to dating success? Let's break it down a little further under dating. One is the mindset for success. So this means increasing your conscious awareness to make choices. And like I said, everything you say, you do, and how you act. It's a personal command over your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. And if someone gets anxious, we know how to settle that within ourselves in 2 to 3 breaths. My mind impacts my body and how I feel. So the mindset and all the tools that I give everyone is holistic: mind, body, and spirit. None of my people are in psychotropic drugs. And if they are, we wean them off because They have so many bad side effects, and it's just a band-aid. They don't get to the root of the trouble. And once we heal the past trauma, they're less to be traumatized or triggered. So they don't need that medication anymore. Understanding dating is a numbers game. You have to date consciously and 3 to 4 dates a week to find the one. We call that dating with intention. We are meeting a lot of people with a very positive attitude. My instructions to my people is you're going out just to meet a friend. Keep it light, keep it easy. You don't bring in this mindset of, is this going to be the one? Do I see a future with him? Nope. You're just going out to meet someone new, a new friend. And you don't become exclusive too early on. You date many people at once to see if the person you like is consistent. They're keeping their word. You're still dating them, but you're open-minded to dating other people. Are they responsible? Are they dependable? Do they keep their word? And then after several dates, probably by 4 or 5 dates, you're like, I really like this one person. And then you just start weaning off everyone else. And then you have a conversation. You still want to date online? And usually my partner and I say, nah, let's give this a go. And that's what Chris and I did. You are looking for what we call the content of their character over chemistry. So many people, because this is how we were told, that you fall in love if your heart is, skipping a beat, or you find that they're hot. Well, looks fade. Character is for life. So you have to learn to choose in a different way. You're actually looking at the inside of the person when you're chatting with them. And of course, there has to be an attraction factor. You have to be attracted. But chemistry is not the top 10 of what we're looking for. There's so many other things. And with my clients, we have a roadmap of exactly what you're looking for. And you meditate on this. My clients do a certain meditation we call divine spiritual meditation. And we are putting those characteristics through our meditation and saying, thank you, universe, God, whoever you might have as your higher being, for bringing that person into my life. And that's exactly what I got. If you're conscious, confident, empowered, positive, fun, and lighthearted, you don't take any rejection personally, but you keep moving forward consistently, even after a bad date or experience. We know our group, it's not about us. If we are being honorable and good people and a great date, maybe we're just not someone's type. Everyone has a type, and that's okay. You just keep moving forward. So that's how empowered you have to be, that it just does not impact you if someone ghosts you. To me, I say, thank you, God, for showing me that's not the one. And I keep moving forward. To have a sustainable relationship and date successfully, you want to be the chooser. We don't wait to be chosen. There is a 5-second rule in dating. Somebody will see you and within 5 seconds know if they want to have a second date with you. And I know it's stereotypical, and this is especially true for men. But ladies, we have to understand men have caveman brain, the old brain that sits in the back of the brain stem, and they were made to procreate the race. They are made to be wired for attraction. They cannot help it. And my men in the classroom, you have to know women are wired for safety. Cavewoman brain needs safety first. Why? Because we are the child bearer. Men could fall much faster than women. We hold back, we wait, we say, can I feel safe with this person? And it's going to take us a while. So we have to be very careful to take their time and date slowly and be consistent by being a great guy. Any guy that's trying to push for sex on the third date, ladies, we're out of there. No thanks. I had someone say, well, it's a fifth date. That means I really like you. I'm asking for sex on the fifth date. I'm like, well, I'm not your girl. If that's what you need, you should go ahead. God bless you. Have what you want, but I'm not your girl, because that's only someone going for chemistry. How many times have you seen on an online profile a man say must have chemistry? That's a red flag saying to me they're looking for sex first. Not interested. Okay. So we have to know when we're choosing someone to even talk to online. I have this on my website. If you have not done it yet, you really want to do it. It's called Are You Really Ready to Date or for a Relationship? And my website again is rianamilne.com. It's under the free quizzes section. And you'll need at least an 8 out of 10, and do it honestly in all 10 areas to be emotionally healthy and truly ready for a quality partner. I do this test with everyone in their discovery session, and it's a roadmap of telling me what I need to work on for them to make them truly date ready. And that's part two of my dating to mating program. They don't date right away. We focus on self-love, raising confidence, self-esteem, empowerment, and healing prior childhood and love relationship trauma. That is part one. Balance in life, spirituality, mindset. There's a lot to cover in part one. By the time you're going out and dating, man, you know you're the whole package. You are empowered. You're feeling friggin' amazing. And that energy is what attracts a lot of guys to you, or girls for the men. Okay, so you want to be honest with yourself. Recognize if you need help and get it. Trying to date too long without having a partner, it's going to tear you down, your confidence. You're going to say, what's the matter with me? I'm not pretty enough. I'm not this enough, that enough. And it really starts giving you this bad energy to get out there and date. Are you emotionally triggered too easily? If someone ghosts you or never calls you back, do you get upset? Do you call and yell at them? Do you send them a mean text? Well, that's a sign that you need dating help. Okay. You need relationship help. You need to heal past trauma. If you're getting anxious, angry, frustrated, or you're totally withdrawn and don't want to date at all because you're afraid, or you won't go out socializing to meet other singles, these are all reasons to hire a life, love, and mindset coach. And that's what I'm here for. Like my client, Maria. Maria came to me at age 63, and I work with people age 16. Harold, my oldest, is 79, and so is Bob. Bob is in one of my podcasts. He's adorable. He's with a woman now he loves for 7 years after 4 divorces. So Maria says, coaching with Riana has been an amazing source of guidance, support, and inspiration at a time when I needed it most. I can't even fully express the gratitude and guidance that the courses Dating to Mating and Success in Dating have done for me. Rihanna is an awesome listener and fully attends to your passions and dreams in both life and love coaching. Before working with Rihanna, I was feeling stagnant in my love relationship path, unsure of how to best have a relationship with a man who I love so much. And now we're engaged. It wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for Rihanna. She helped me with past childhood traumas and helped me to communicate better with my partner. I've gained boundaries and clarity in my love relationship, career goals, launched a new business, which I helped her with, and learned to find more balance and ease in my life. I highly recommend Coach Riana Milne. She was dating a guy she really loved, but it was going nowhere. And he was totally taking advantage of her. And I said, what is your goal? Is your goal you want to be married? Do you want to be engaged? You just want a life partner? She goes, I don't really want to be married. I just want it like a symbol of commitment. I want to be engaged. I said, all right, let's make that happen. So here it is. I work with what your goals are. A lot of young people come to me, they want marriage and a family. So whatever that is what my job is to help you achieve. So the solution is coaching. It brings real results. It's the deep healing of past childhood and love trauma coaching with an expert that leads to results. And you must have the CCTP for trauma recovery. Now, childhood trauma is a big buzzword out there in the online world. Trust me, if they are not a mental health counselor, they do not have the ability to work with the very sensitive mental health issues that trauma brings into people's lives. But its complete healing is possible and it's fabulous, and you would never go back to live how you felt before. So if you work privately with me, you'll see a huge personal transformation, how you feel about yourself, your life, your love relationships, and your career. Your new skills and confidence lead to a meeting, a great partner, and then sustaining that relationship due to the conscious mindset for success way that you are living and being. So you'll change your unconscious, what we call normalized patterns from the past that sabotage you in various life areas, including love. It could be sabotaging in you in your business growth, not getting to where you really want to be. Parenting, you could be struggling with your kids. Finances, you're not able to reach your financial goals. And long-term relationships. I educate in all these areas. You have to be your best self first. That's the question. Are you really ready to date? Score 8 out of, you must feel like you're the whole package before going out to date. You must have no issues or baggage you're bringing in for another person to heal or save you. Your life must be totally together for you to be a great partner, and you must feel empowered and date consciously, and you must know who to date and who not to date. equally important. Tonight, we're going into the 8 dating disasters to avoid. There's 8 of them that I'm covering tonight, even though there's 20 more.
Do you feel like you have tried everything? Self-help books, therapy, relationship summits, retreats, online courses, podcasts. But you still struggle with toxic love, attracting narcissistic partners, ongoing anxiety, depression, codependency, love addiction, stress, moodiness, lack of hope, feeling stuck in your career, and you just can't seem to get love right. It's time to heal your unconscious behavioral patterns caused by unhealed childhood trauma. I'm Riana Milne, the love trauma recovery expert and certified life and love coach who helps thousands around the world, and I can help you too. I specialize in helping adults heal from unconscious childhood and love relationship traumas, emotional triggers, and dysfunctional behavioral patterns, which have been impacting them negatively in life, love, or business, to transform and create the life they desire and to have the love they deserve. Talk to me today at rianamilne.com and get the free ebook below to learn more.
Know that these dating disasters are real. Thank you for being honest and sharing in the chat that this has happened to you as it has happened to me as well. These are the 8 areas we're covering: ghosting, breadcrumbing, gaslighting, dine and dash, honey trapping, catfishing, flying monkeys, oh my, and love bombing. And just know there is an art and science, I'm talking psychological science, to attracting an emotionally healthy partner. You'll need both psychological and emotional skills to avoid the toxic types. You have to be very empowered, and to attract that emotionally healthy person, plus sustain the relationship over time. The number one disaster is ghosting, and it's the most common dating disrespectful behavior. And it's stopping all communication and contact with a person without any apparent warning or justification, and ignoring any attempts that you have, that you're reaching out or trying to communicate with them. They just totally cut you off. And it happens constantly due to social media, dating apps, or being anonymous online. With increased hookup culture, it all makes it easier to behave poorly with few social repercussions. Now, the more common it becomes, the more people are desensitized to it. Research shows a decline in empathy and an increased selfishness, narcissistic society over the past couple of years. Really just leave this person. Remember, they did you a favor. They are not the one. Cut off the ties, block and ghost them. Move forward. And that's where you have to have the strength to say, I'm done with them. Okay. And the breadcrumbing. This is common also. Setting out flirtatious, but they're not committal text messages. They just breadcrumb you to death. They just give you a little bit of something to lure in a partner and get their attention without expending much effort. Leading someone on by contacting them from time to time by phone or text or in social media, just to keep them interested. But they won't ask you out. They just want your attention. I call it the shopping mentality of online dating. To deal with this, you want to call them out on their behavior. Breadcrumbing is about an ego boost for them. You don't want to date someone who needs this to feel important. Tell them, hey, I deserve more, and I'm moving on. Goodbye, good luck, and God bless is our 3 G's that we say in our family. You block them and you move forward. And then you just learn to ignore them. People breadcrumb again when they're bored. It's a sign of how you're going to be treated in the relationship. So if they do that early on, you've done a favor by eliminating themselves from your potential partner list. Number 3 is gaslighting. It's a psychological, abusive form of emotionally manipulating others by presenting false information, which lowers the confidence of an innocent and trusting victim. It's an attempt to destroy another's perception of reality. Gaslighting confuses the victim and destabilizes you by exerting power over you. It makes you feel like you've lost your ability to think, remember, or rationalize. In dating, whoever is doing this requires a real skill in deception and has a malicious intent. It's a form of persistent manipulation and brainwashing that causes the victim to doubt themselves, lose their sense of perception, identity, confidence, and self-worth. Now, this can also occur in the workplace, so be aware of it, or over an entire society. And Hitler was a psychopath example of doing gaslighting to people constantly. And that was a whole society. that was tricked by him. So this goes on everywhere. Dine and Dash. I wonder how many of you have heard of that one. It's a form of theft by fraud in which a patron orders and consumes expensive food and alcohol from a restaurant with no intention of paying. Jail time is actually given out to those who steal in this manner. A dine and dash dater is usually very charming, smooth talking, a handsome man. I have not heard of a woman doing this yet, but they would chat with women online, offer to treat them to a very upscale, expensive restaurant. You're all flattered. Yes, you want to go. And then they vanish without a word after shoveling down tons of food and expensive drinks. You feel like, oh my gosh, he's really treating me. And then they leave the bill for you to pay. They usually use the men's room or take a phone call. It's like, I'll be right back. I just got to take this call outside. And then they never come back. What do you do? This happened to one of my clients. She knew exactly what to do. She got up, she went to the manager, and she was known by this restaurant. So this helped her even more. She reported the person immediately. She did have the first and last name, the phone number, the town he lived in, their photograph from the app, the dating site. That night, the police went to his home and arrested him. So this is what I'm calling empowered dating. Okay. So you don't accept a dinner date on the first date. Just agree to one date, one drink, or an appetizer, just in case you are left to pay for it, but be on the alert for this. I am great with drinks and apps for first few dates. I don't need a big fancy dinner. And I don't think a man should have to pay for a dinner early on when I'm not his exclusive partner. It's always polite, though, if they ask you for a bite to eat. I say, sure, you want to share an appetizer. That's what I would suggest on a first or second or third date. The next one is called honey trapping. Most of my people have not heard of this. It is the use of romantic or sexual relationships for interpersonal or monetary purposes. So they seek a false relationship, which may or may not involve sexual intimacy, just to get influence over you or information on you for their gain. They lure you in, you're unsuspecting that they are, just to take advantage of you. They intend to extort huge money from the victim, commonly by uploading photos, calling a family member, blackmailing, or using a credit card number of those who refuse to give them money. A honeypot is also used when an affair is suspected. So if you're having an affair with someone and you're married, okay, now they take pictures of you. They say, if you don't pay me money, I'm going to tell your husband, you might have a family. This is why our rules are we don't even date anyone who was separated. No, thank you. If you're divorced, that's another thing. You want someone who's completely single. So if you see separated online, that's a no. Never, ever send any kind of sexy photos to someone you're dating, because later they can be used against you as a money trap or a payoff, especially if you're successful in business. Okay, phishing. This is a big one and getting worse. If anybody has seen these schemes on Dr. Phil, he can't keep up with the amount of people who have been catfished. And this is what happened to the person I met with last week. It's a deceptive activity where a fake identity is used on a social network or dating app to target a victim for abuse, money, fraud, sexual fulfillment, or to explore an alternative sexual identity. So they fake who they are. This is also used in cyberbullying a lot, which has been increasing suicides by teenagers. And it's very sad when this is happening to a young person as well. Internet facilitated romance scams, this is from the research, has been growing in the last decade and are the number one type of consumer fraud in the US today. Often a real person's ID is stolen, so they're not aware that their picture is being used in a fake way. If you've ever seen the show Catfishing, you will see many examples of this. They are not aware of their photos or identity was used, so they're really not the one doing the bad stuff. The sexual predators use the fake identity, photos, and even voices to talk to a victim to build trust. And very often people will use military IDs or say, I'm a general in the Army or the Navy. Again, they're trying to build trust, but it's not true. And, this was a man that I met with last week, and he says, well, I have a girlfriend in Ghana. I said, no, you don't. You're probably talking to some man using a fake voice, fake pictures, and you have a fake relationship. and he's already spent over $50,000. So just imagine if he would have paid a little bit of money to get educated and know that this is rampant. You must know who you are dating. You must meet them in person. You must follow my dating rules. All my clients follow my rules, and they are safe and they are finding the love that they desire. One of the signs of catfishing, they'll say, let's just talk offline, by texting and emailing because they don't want the trace online. If you are scammed, you certainly must contact the dating app because they will report that to authorities. So these people will send generic messages of love, trust, sincerity in emails, and they copy and paste them. And believe me, they're working 15, 20 people at one time. So it's many, many victims to get money. And if you are engaging in something like this is a very clear sign of a lot of unhealed childhood trauma. So you must work with someone like me to get you beyond needing that type of attention because it's very damaging. Okay, flying monkeys. How many have known what a flying monkey is? It reminds me of the monkeys in Wizard of Oz flying along with the witch. And that's basically what it is. They act on behalf of the narcissist or sociopath to hurt a third party, the innocent person, for an abusive person, a smear campaign, money, or extortion. A person who acts on behalf of the socio or psychopath or a similar person. They may come up to you as a friend just to get needed information, like, where do you live? Oh, what complex is that? In what town? They're trying to get information and they give it to the person that is in charge of the scam. So it's very, very dangerous if you're suspecting anything like that. And the last one we're covering tonight, there's just so much time and so many dysfunctions that I can't cover them all. But love bombing, very, very common. It's an attempt to influence a person by giving a large amount of attention or affection for a deceptive and negative person. It's often a part of a cycle of abuse. The love is fake and is a form of psychological control and manipulation. And this can happen again with women and men. Both are love bombers. I've had in my office in Delray before I went global, probably 9 very successful corporate business guys who fell for love bombing from a young international woman from another country. Then they end up marrying them. Boom, all of a sudden she's pregnant. Then there's a ton of money flying out the door. She's controlling, jealous, manipulated. I have had many, many male clients like this. So this is happening to both men and women. Women, usually who are very successful, they will be love bombed, usually by a guy that does not measure up to them. They don't make the same amount of money. They are being the perfect boyfriend. And if you have not seen this series on Netflix called Dirty John, you want to make sure you see it. It is a true story of someone that love bombed, was a sociopath and a psychopath because he ends up trying to kill the woman. The kids spotted this. Kids are very good at seeing who's good and bad for their parents because they're concerned. It's a big cycle of abuse issue usually. And it's okay to be excited about the person you meet, but you want to just dole out that attention if you're healthy. Just, not be texting 10 times a day. That's a sign. Like some people say, oh, he really likes me, keeps texting and calling me 4 times a day. To me, that's a red flag. Okay. So if you're finding like you're flattered by that, again, that is a sign that their childhood trauma is existing, usually from growing up with abandonment, not having a lot of attention from your mom and dad. So love bombing feels good. This is also used by pimps and gang members to control their victims, or by the abusive narcissist who tries to win the confidence of a victim. The signs, again, there's too much constant contact in the beginning by phone calls, text, gifts, communication in a short amount of time, and pushing for a rapid commitment or marriage from you. If you are in a coupled relationship and you're concerned about this, watch for the toxic behaviors and control. So the cycle of abuse is they idolize you. They're going to give you a ton of sex. They're going to wheel you in. They're going to put you up on a pedestal. The men love this if they have childhood trauma. Otherwise, they're going to see this as a red flag and they're like, not for me. And then as soon as they're married, they devalue you, control you, manipulate you, I have a client where there's controls on his cars, controls on his phone. He can't see his older kids. And this is a real client who's very successful man in business. So I see this constantly. So you have to be very careful. And then they discard you when they're done with you and they repeat it and find somebody else. And usually the discard pattern happens when the healthy person has had enough. They divorce. That's usually when they end up in my office because they're so traumatized. This is what we call love trauma, and then they go out. The one that they divorced took as much money as they could, moved on, and find their next victim. So that is very rampant in South Florida. My Florida people here, please be very, very careful.